We are at the base of Mount Rainier in the state of Washington. One of the most beautiful places in this country. One that you would never believe could encounter violence.
This is going to be reference case number 16-6893. I would like to get your consent to record your voice. Is it okay to do that?
Yes.
We have a 20-year-old kid who's being interviewed and interrogated about a very dangerous killer.
So let's start from the beginning.
I thought he's just gonna come pick me up and then we're gonna go beat someone's ass.
Humans are capable of terrible things, and they're capable of that with little or no motivation.
He had a crazy look on his face.
He has decided he hates him. Then he's decided he's going to kill him.
Then all of a sudden, I heard 4 gunshots.
You have a person who acts out of instinct. His instinct is to kill. How dangerous is that? About as dangerous as you can get. I spent my career closing murder cases. But I'm not the only one who answered the call. It takes a rare breed to solve the unsolvable, to catch a ruthless killer, to find justice for the dead. That's what it takes to be an American detective.
I'm Ben Elkins. I was a major crimes detective for Thurston County Sheriff's Office, located in Olympia, Washington. I had a law enforcement career for over 28 years. I always liked being challenged. Most people don't have that opportunity to see the real evil in society. But as a law enforcement officer, you had the challenge to figure out who did it and hold them accountable.
A woman who lives on a ranch calls the Thurston County Sheriff's Department to report that her boyfriend has been missing for 3 days. Detective Elkins responds to the call. This woman is Tina Inman. Her boyfriend is Clark Calhoun. He's 53 years old, and he's employed as a handyman on this ranch.
Hi. Following up on your missing persons report.
My dad came to work on this ranch, had some hard times in life. The owners of the ranch were friends, and so they saw an opportunity to help him get back on his feet.
My dad was no stranger to the farm life and to taking care of the animals and repairing things that needed to be repaired. He was somebody who could fix pretty much anything.
As a perk of his employment, he's given a space to park his trailer. So he has a trailer he lives in, and it's kept there on the property at no charge to Mr. Calhoun.
The ownership of the property was a brotherly partnership, but the one brother that lived on it owned most of the property, and then the other brother, Joel, he owned a smaller portion of it.
It was a very large piece of property. It was pushing 200 acres between the two of them.
When's the last time you saw Clark?
3 days ago?
Miss Inman explains that on the 28th of December, she, Mr. Calhoun, and another friend, Randy, were intending to go shopping in the evening. They were about to leave when Jeremy Leninger, son of one of the 2 brothers that owns the place, came up on a tractor and stopped them.
Hey, Clark.
Yeah.
He asked Clark to stay behind and help build some fences.
So Clark goes with Jeremy off to do this work, and Miss Inman and her friend Randy continue on with her shopping.
Mark? Mom?
Miss Inman returns quite late from her shopping trip.
Mark?
but Clark isn't there. So the next morning, when she wakes up, Clark still isn't there. And by the morning of the third day, she decides to report this to the police.
Does Clark carry a cell phone?
No, he uses mine. He just wouldn't do something like this. I mean, he even left his wallet there.
She says the only thing that isn't here is a turquoise and silver ring that he often wears. So Elkins thinks maybe this isn't somebody missing. Maybe it's somebody who's been done away with.
I just know something bad has happened to him.
As an investigator, there's always these things called indicators. And when I interviewed Tina, I didn't pick up on any indicators that she was involved in any foul play.
Did Clark have any enemies? Is anybody out to get him?
Not really.
Inman says no, everybody loves Clark, but there was something a few days ago that struck her as very odd. She says one of the owners mentioned to her that Jeremy, the son of the owners, had complained to her that he was missing $150, and he believed that Clark had taken this money from his truck.
Tina never indicated that Clark all of a sudden had extra money, because he would have shared that with her. They would have used it for groceries or whatever.
Okay, Tina. Here's my card. If you think of anything else.
Elkins, of course, wants to have confirmation of what Inman has to say. You cannot rely on a single source. So Elkins runs down Randy, the friend who was in the car when Clark and Inman were going to go shopping.
Excuse me, Randy. Yeah. Detective Elkins, you got a minute to speak with me?
He explains to Randy that Clark has been missing now for 3 days, and he wants to know what he recalls about the night he went missing.
3 of us were getting ready to go in town. Jeremy came and grabbed Clark, needed help doing something.
Both their statements were very consistent on the last time that they had both seen him and what transpired.
Elkins then asks Randy, has there been any confrontations with anyone that you're aware of?
No, everybody's getting along just fine here.
I understand that Jeremy thought Clark stole some money from him.
Nah, that's news to me.
Randy said they have no issues between them. So there's still this lingering question of where did this accusation come from?
If you think of anything, give us a call.
And why is that floating around out there?
So the next person to interview was Jeremy Linenger.
Jeremy's the last person that was seen with Clark, so antennas started to go up.
Jeremy, you got a minute to take a break?
Now, if you are conducting a field interview, you want to put this person on your turf, your ground, not theirs.
Why don't we speak in the car? It's cold out. Okay.
You invite him into your office that happens to have 4 wheels and an engine. It's as efficient as a building and a hell of a lot quicker.
So the 28th of December, what happened? What went on that day?
See, we started stringing some barbed wire along Jerry's fence.
And then Clark says, I've got to meet somebody out at the gate. There's somebody coming to see me.
You say who?
No, he just said, I'm gonna go meet a friend down at the gate.
Now, Jeremy introduces Mr. X into this conversation. Somebody comes to see our missing person. So who is Mr. X, and why would he have to go to the gate to see him?
That's the last time I seen him. No one saw him the rest of the night.
All right, and then tell me about the money being stolen from your truck.
I had $80 in the glove box. Someone took it. They got lost.
Okay. Did you talk to Clark about it?
No, I just figured it was gone.
Jeremy downplayed it, that it was no big deal, and he really didn't say anything in regards to it being a problem between him or Clark.
All right. Anything else you can do?
No, she can leave me with a business card.
Jeremy's cooperative, friendly, reports he has nothing to hide. After Elkins interviews him, he's back to square one. Where is Mr. Calhoun? And what condition is he in?
There was a concern that maybe something had happened where he died on the property. It was a very cold time of year, and easily, if somebody would have been out in the elements, they could have easily got hypothermia and passed out or whatever.
So just as a guard against any other possibilities, he organizes a search party.
We spent several hours on the property, going everywhere we could think of. We were able to coordinate with a rescue dog organization to come out to the property with our unit.
Miss Inman provides these dogs with some of Calhoun's clothing, which contain his scent. A dog has an olfactory sense 600 times greater than a human. They can pick up a scent in the air. It's remarkable.
But at the end of the day, unfortunately, we were unable to find Clark.
No blood, no clothing, no nothing. It's just not there. And neither is Mr. Calhoun.
I had suspicions that something happened that could have been foul play, but I didn't know what yet. So what we did is initially we put out a missing person bulletin.
We began to put up a missing persons poster all over town.
Putting up the flyers for my dad really made things a reality. It really made things sink in that something was terribly wrong.
Missing persons generally are found relatively quickly. If they're not found quickly, they didn't come home because they can't. Now it's weeks later, and two environmental scientists are doing water samples 2 counties away from Thurston County. They noticed something half submerged in the bottom mud flow in a river. And half buried in this silt is the body of a Caucasian male. They notify the local county sheriff's office. They respond.
My name is Detective Lorenzo Gladson. I've been a detective for the last 6 years with the Calais County Sheriff's Office. Our first goal was to identify who this person was.
The detectives down there were aware of our missing person bolo that Ben Elkins had put out.
Yeah, I think you better get down here. Yeah, we might have found your guy.
He sees a silver and turquoise ring on one hand. Well, my. How'd you get here from 2 counties away? So Gladson calls Detective Elkins in Thurston County SO and says, I'm pretty sure I have found your missing man, Clark Calhoun.
Hey, Gladson. Hey. What do we got here?
His body was pretty dirty with mud. He was not wearing any socks or shoes.
There was no evidence that we could find at that point because it had been so long down until he'd been found.
How did he get in the middle of this river? Was he drunk? Did he have a heart attack and die and fell in the river? What happened to him? There's a long list.
At that point, we made arrangements to respond down to Cowles County Coroner's Office. And that's when I attended the autopsy.
From drifting down the river, he's going to have some injuries. He was hung up on rocks, so yeah, he's going to have some scrapes and scratches.
But when that silt is removed with a hose, it becomes rather obvious how he got in that river. He's got 2 large caliber gunshot wounds. That'll do it.
At that point, we realized that the body was likely dumped in the river, that this was not just a death investigation, but a homicide investigation.
People don't understand that bodies are very difficult to dispose of, and it'll just float away. It'll go to Mexico, it'll go to Japan. We got to get rid of this body, we got to get rid of it right now. Emotion takes over judgment in those circumstances.
In Clark's body, the doctor did find a bullet.
We measured and weighed the round. I was able to identify it as a .45 caliber round. The significance of the .45 caliber round being removed from Clark was that if we were able to later develop a suspect, we know that we're looking for a .45 caliber gun associated with that suspect.
We actually had a case where we had another homicide, and we had a bullet that was retrieved from the victim, and we had information that that same type gun had been used in target practice, and we were able to find a bullet and a shell casing, and they matched. So it helped make the case. We're hoping, to be able to find a bullet that would be in pristine condition, on the property. We now had additional leads to follow up on.
So this is the worst possible turnout of a missing persons case. Not only deceased, not only dead, but murdered. You have to tell his family, Mr. Calhoun has had his life taken.
At my dad's core, he was a good, caring, loving person. Wow. And he was amazing when I was little. But because of my dad's choices, a lot of my family had been estranged for many years.
My dad had been through some ups and downs, drug, alcohol related, and as he came back, I saw a hope for him to get his life back in a direction that was more healthy for himself and for our family.
My brother's goal was to get closer to family and try to reconnect with his children.
We made plans for my husband and I to take our kids to see him on New Year's Day. And Tina said that he was really, really excited. Well, there is no way that he would have missed a chance to see me and his grandkids.
Deep down, I had always hoped that I would have my dad back in my life. But at the same time, it brought peace knowing that he could be brought home and laid to rest. And it felt like we were going to start getting answers at that point.
Investigations change their personality as they proceed, but everything emanates from a 100-acre farm at the base of Mount Rainier. There is Jeremy Leninger, the son of the owners. There's Randy. There's Clark Calhoun's girlfriend. There's Mr. X at the front gate. They're on this little lazy Susan in the middle of this table. Who's sitting in this lazy Susan is responsible for making Mr. Calhoun collect silt in the river.
Now we're investigating a homicide, so we would have to basically start over and go back to the ranch, re-interview, and talk to everybody.
With Jeremy being the last person that had been seen with Clark, Jeremy became a real person of interest. He lived with his mother and father at the time.
Joel and Karen Kane, Jeremy's parents, who are half owners in the property, live in close proximity to where this body was discovered.
Thank you.
We were able to identify various information that led to probable cause to get a search warrant.
With Jeremy being the last person seen with Clark, we were really searching Jeremy's address. It just happened to be owned by his dad. Jeremy was not at home at the time.
I participated in the search warrant of Jeremy Leininger's home.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Detective Gladson.
When law enforcement arrived to Joel and Karen's house, Karen was told it was regarding Clark missing.
What do you mean he's missing?
Karen knew Clark from the ranch, but Karen didn't know that Clark was found with 2 bullet holes in him and presumed to have been murdered.
My husband told me that he moved to California.
California.
Gladson's thought was, unless California is in the middle of the Cowie River, he didn't move to California. He also wonders, why would her husband, Joel, tell her he just moved away?
Oh, well, I'm sorry to tell you he's not in California. We found his body down by the river.
You could see on her face, her demeanor was thinking, well, how can that be?
They inform her they have a search warrant for the premises, and they're searching for a handgun.
Step aside, please, ma'am.
At the time they were executing the search warrant, they hear Karen, his wife, call Joel and say, your buddies from Thurston County are here.
She obviously was not happy for us being there.
Your ass off my property. Please calm down, sir.
While I was searching the inside of the Leininger home, I heard a loud commotion and somebody screaming out towards the driveway.
What the hell's going on here? Trespass!
Joel comes rolling into his property.
And here is Joel going out of his mind, ordering the police out of his home. They have no right.
Get your ass off my property. Wait right there. You got no right to be here.
When a detective went over and explained to him that we had a search warrant for the property, he got very angry.
You wonder, why would somebody do that? What are you afraid we're going to find in this house?
Get the hell away from me.
The deputy grabbed a hold of Joel Leininger's wrist, trying to detain him, and the struggle ensued.
Trespass! Hey, get the hell away from me. Don't you touch me.
People believe they know their rights. I will assure you that no one knows their rights unless they went to law school.
Sir, I'm placing you under arrest for obstruction of justice.
A search warrant's been issued for the premise. It is the order of the court. It doesn't matter what you think or what you believe. It takes 5 deputies to control him and put him in a police car.
After Joel Leininger was detained, we continued with the search of his residence.
If you have somebody that's cooperating with a search warrant, well, they don't have anything to hide, but generally folks that are worried are the ones that react negatively when law enforcement's present at their home.
Hey, detective, come check this out.
We searched and found an empty holster that had a magazine with it. That magazine contained .45 caliber ammunition consistent with the .45 caliber round that was removed from Clark Calhoun.
So what was in that holster is most likely the murder weapon. They ask the wife, Karen, whose bedroom is this, assuming she's going to say it's Jeremy's bedroom.
Whose room is this?
Joel's.
This is Joel's room.
Yeah. We don't sleep together.
That raises an eyebrow. So this is Joel's bedroom, and there's this empty holster. And now we have Joel outside the house going absolutely out of his mind that they're searching the place.
That kind of raises flags where now are we looking at Joel as the person that killed Clark?
It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to decide that there's something here. So they bring Joel in to the sheriff's department because he's in custody, and he has calmed down to some degree.
It's a complete waste of time. I don't even know why you have me down here.
Gladson explains that they have found Mr. Calhoun. He is a victim of a homicide.
Well, the problem, is Clark Calhoun was shot with a .45.
Here we got a similar type holster inside his residence that he would have access to, no gun.
So how do you explain that, Joel?
I haven't seen that gun in months. I reported missing back in September.
We searched and found a record of Leininger reporting his .45 caliber handgun as missing in September of 2016.
When Joel was arrested, it was strictly for the obstruction of justice and resisting arrest. So we didn't have any factual information to be able to do anything in regards to detaining or charging Joel with any crime. All we had was what we called skinny evidence.
I'm loose.
Joel posted bail immediately for obstructing a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest, and then was released.
Joel now could be our primary suspect, but all we had was a lot of circumstantial evidence. So we still haven't identified who killed Clark. It could be anybody at this point.
In a murder case, you're investigating total darkness. You're punching in the dark. You want somebody to say, ouch. If somebody says, ouch, then you shine a light. So as you learn more about the dynamics and more about the personalities, then you go back and re-interview people from a different perspective. Elkins decides to re-interview Randy, the friend who was in the car when Clark and Inman and Randy were going to go shopping.
Hey, Randy. Hey, what can I do for you?
This time, Elkins is armed with more facts.
You happen to remember anything strange leading up to the days before Clark's disappearance?
Well, now that you mention it, yeah, the other night.
How about that?
Randy shared that before Clark went missing, he was with Jeremy and a friend of his identified as Tyler.
Randy goes on to report that Tyler was talking about burying dead cows on the property. Ranchers find a place where they can just dig a hole and drop the cow in.
Then, I don't know, Tyler kind of got a little weird. I remember Tyler saying,
"You could probably bury a body out there too. Nobody would ever know."
Well, that's a pretty interesting conversation 2 days before Mr. Calhoun goes missing and winds up murdered. Now, he wasn't in a grave, but dead he was.
He actually said those words.
Yes, sir.
We're wondering now, maybe Tyler had some direct involvement in regards to the murder of Clark.
So Elkins has to talk to Tyler Frazier. What about this conversation you had at this party?
What I'm trying to do, Tyler, is find out exactly what happened to Clark Calhoun.
We interviewed Tyler at his residence.
I don't know what happened to the dude.
But you work with him on the ranch.
Yeah, sometimes.
He indicated he did know Clark, that he was friends with Jeremy, and that he would occasionally work on the property in Rainier, but denied any involvement or any knowledge of what we were talking about.
Tyler says he was with his girlfriend and never left his place the day that Calhoun went missing.
You don't recall having a conversation with Jeremy about burying a body on the ranch?
What? That wasn't me.
He indicated that the conversations were between Randy and Jeremy.
You know, you'd probably bury a body out there too. Nobody'd ever know.
You're crazy, man.
Man, I'm telling you.
Tyler says some map was brought out, and they were actually comparing locations on that property where something could be buried.
So Elkins, after talking to Frazier, realizes that Randy lied to him, directly and thoughtfully lied. That he was having that conversation about burying dead things and not Mr. Frazier.
So when someone does that, it makes you think as an investigator that they're trying to hide something.
In fact, lying is always a bad thing. Why would you lie to me? What else are you lying to me about? Elkins is preparing to summon Randy for another interview when Randy shows up in his office. When it comes to murder, best friends are meaningless.
I'm a little surprised you wanted to see me, Randy.
Yeah, well, I got something I gotta get off my chest.
Oh. Elkins likes it when somebody has to get something off their chest. I always did as well. Guilt is a terrible thing. For the police, an extremely useful thing.
I told you that Clark and Jeremy, they didn't have any problems with each other. Well, that wasn't entirely true.
Randy directly and specifically lied to Elkins because he was afraid he'd lose his job, he'd lose what little life he had if he ratted off the owner's son.
Randy shared with us that Jeremy flat out did not like, possibly hated Clark for many reasons. Jeremy pretty much felt that Clark was taking advantage of his uncle and that he was basically living on the property for free, not having to pay for anything.
Toss the smoke and help us out, okay? All right, do something.
Jeremy was convinced that Clark was a freeloader, lazy. Clark refused to work around the ranch, on and on and on.
Randy emphasized that this negative relationship between the both of them had been going on for quite a while.
And right before Clark went missing, Jeremy, he just going on and on about how Clark stole money from him.
He goes on to say that Jeremy was more than angry. Jeremy was wild about the missing money from his truck. Jeremy was convinced that Clark is the one who stole it.
Did he?
I don't know.
We never did identify for sure if Clark stole any money from Jeremy.
Jeremy is convincing himself of all the reasons why Clark should not be permitted to live on this planet, most of which are invented.
I had a few questions to Jeremy.
Once Randy shared this with us, we tried to talk to Jeremy another time. He declined to provide any statements and requested a lawyer, so we couldn't ask him any more questions.
People run from the police. They climb. They're like animals. Where are you going? Stairway to Heaven is a song. There is no escape.
We had all circumstantial evidence. The problem is that may not be enough to establish probable cause to arrest and get a conviction. We needed something concrete. Shortly thereafter, Detective Gladson had phoned me and indicated that two people had come forth and had some information about the involvement of Jeremy.
The two people were tenants of Joe Leininger. They lived on the same property, and they were friends with Jeremy Leininger.
So what's going on with Jeremy?
We decided to split them up, and Detective Gladson interviewed the male witness, and I interviewed a female witness.
We had a party up at our house that Friday. I just knew I was like hearing stuff that I didn't want to hear or believe. Jeremy was crying, he was sulking.
Then Jeremy told me what he did. Which is what? He shot him.
A direct confession to murder. Secrets don't stay secrets. People suffer from diarrhea of the mouth. They always have, and they always will.
And it's getting you excited because now you got witnesses that Jeremy conversed with and told them that he killed Clark.
Is it enough to arrest him? Not really. But Elkins has another card up his sleeve. He gets a warrant for Jeremy's cell phone records.
Big Brother is real. Your phone is never off. And so If you keep your phone on you, we'll find you. It's that simple.
Elkins gets telephone records, and what does he discover? Jeremy's phone moves between all the points required, to include the ranch and the site where the body is dumped.
Also, we were able to ping the towers, and one of the things that the ping showed was that Jeremy stopped at a friend's house, and that friend was identified as John Perry.
He's at John's house for approximately 20 minutes before the two head back north to the Rainier property. I say both of them because their phone records mirrored each other.
Both phones are together and go exactly to the ranch, and then are found going out Rose Valley, which is out towards the river in Cowlitz County.
Yeah, they probably should leave their phone at home. Unfortunately, most criminals aren't very swift. So now we were looking at John Perry as the co-conspirator at minimum.
Elkins needs to put Jeremy over his head, and the way to do that is to talk to Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry is going to have some information that's going to crucify Jeremy. Elkins has the same group of players he's had from the beginning, but it's finally starting to straighten out Jeremy Leninger is most likely the person responsible. He might have had a helper, and his name is John Perry.
John Perry was the last piece that we needed because, everything else was hearsay and circumstantial, and John Perry, he was there.
I located John at an apartment complex in Longview, Washington.
Mr. Perry, I'm here to speak with you about Jeremy Leninger and the murder of Clark Calhoun.
Yeah? Perry initially says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about that.
All right. Just come out here. We're going to take you in for questioning.
He denied a lot of things, but we had enough to arrest him for that crime as being a co-conspirator of a homicide.
He was booked in the Thurston County Jail on $250,000 bail. He knew he was facing significant time.
All right, I am Detective Elkins, Thurston County Sheriff's Office. My understanding is you wanted to provide a statement regarding the incident where Clark Calhoun was murdered.
Yes. I know I don't want to be a part of this because I wasn't a part of this. I didn't have no choice in this. I'm not doing someone else's time.
Okay, makes sense.
And Mr. Perry says, let me tell you what I know. Please do.
And that was when the case blew open.
So let's start from the beginning. Okay, you ready to start?
Yes.
He had indicated exactly what his involvement was and what transpired. At some point in time, Jeremy was fed up. He was done with Clark.
Jeremy is the person with the smallest motive in the world. He doesn't like Clark. That turns into hating Clark. That turns into an overwhelming desire to kill him. So what does Jeremy do? He needs the means to get rid of Clark. Well, his dad's got the means, a .45 automatic. And eventually he gets enough nerve to use it.
Hey, Clark.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the fence over on the northeast side of the ranch. Think I get a little hand fixing it, please?
Sure thing, Jeremy.
Clark Calhoun walks into a death trap without knowing it.
Thanks for your help, Clark. Want to come smoke some weed with my buddy John and I real quick?
Yeah, I'm always down for that.
Hop in.
I was at my house, chilling in my bed. Jeremy, he sent me a text saying that he needs help with problems, someone stole money. I thought he's just gonna come pick me up and then we're gonna go beat someone's ass and get his money back.
What happened next?
Jumped in the back of his truck.
In the back bed of the truck? Or
No, like in the back seat.
was anybody else with him?
There was a dude in the passenger seat.
Okay, who was that?
That was Clark.
Clark who?
I don't know his name. I thought it was one of his buddies.
Okay, had you ever met this guy before?
I met him once when I was up at his family's property. We were having a family gathering.
Okay, was anybody else there?
No. It's just me, Jeremy, and Clark.
What was the interaction between Jeremy and Clark and yourself?
They didn't really talk at all. Like, he just seemed agitated.
Who did?
Jeremy.
In what way? What do you mean?
He wasn't really talking. He just seemed pissed off. We just kept on driving, and then he stops, and then he's like, everyone get out, and let's smoke a bowl of weed. We jump out, we go to the back of the truck, and then Jeremy told me to go back in the truck and grab the weed.
So Clark, missing some money, you take it?
Not this again.
Then all of a sudden, I heard 4 gunshots. Boom, 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 boom.
And when he turned, Clark was on the ground and Jeremy was holding a gun.
Then I jumped back out. I was like, what the did you just do? And I looked down, and he's just lifeless. Nothing at all.
Okay, then what happened?
I looked at Jeremy. He had a crazy look on his face.
What did you do? Help me pick this guy up, will you? No, no.
I was like, I don't want no part of this. I'm not gonna pick up that body. So he grabbed the rope and tarp from the back of the truck, tied his legs, and he tied it to the back of his truck. And then he started driving through the woods.
So he drugged the body to an area of the farm where they had a backhoe that he was able to lift Clark's body in the bucket of the backhoe and then deposit him in the back of his truck.
They went southbound on I-5. They proceeded down to Coweeman River.
He jumps in the back of the truck, pulls the dude by his legs, and then dude drops from the back of the truck to the ground, and he just rolled him to the side, and then he just hucks him off the side.
Jeremy believes no one will ever know what happened to Clark. Oh, I don't think so.
What happened to the gun?
I don't know about that.
Jeremy told people he melted the gun down. We never found the weapon.
No ballistics, none of that. But we have the statement of a helper. We have all the other circumstances that go with it.
All this information was more than enough to establish that probable cause, where the prosecutor agreed, yes, we now have probable cause to arrest Jeremy. He was arrested in Cowlitz County. He was transported to Thurston County, where he was booked in our jail, and at no time did he cooperate with law enforcement.
The result of that is that he is convicted of the crime of murder and received a sentence of 18 years in the Washington State Penitentiary for his crime. John Perry pleads guilty and is sentenced to 12 months in prison.
As far as a lot of the details in how my brother was murdered, I really tried to distance myself with a lot of that, because at that point, there's nothing I can do to change what had happened. My brother's not coming back.
Nobody deserves to die that way. My dad, he was just kind and gentle and a teddy bear.
I know my dad's in heaven, and I know he's watching me and my kids. And I know he knows that I love him deeply. But I wish I would have had the opportunity to tell him that at one point in my life.
I do wish I could convey to my father where we are now as a family, that we're okay, that through this tragedy, we've been made stronger. I'm incredibly grateful for Detective Elkins and the personal attention that he gave to our family.
Nobody wants to have a family member murdered, but to have someone held accountable, it's nice because they're able to have closure. So it was rewarding for me as a detective because I truly believe Jeremy was evil.
Elkins stood in Calhoun's shoes because he couldn't anymore. He became his voice, like all homicide detectives all over this country every day. There was a poem written once about it. It says, "I have been where you fear to be. I have gone where you fear to go. I have seen things you don't wish to see. All these things I've done for you."